Ooh, I love music going on.
And we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back.
We're back. We're back. It is
Not our regular night,
no
but we are here at the Helm.
July the 12th, 2024. We are back on another voyage. We appreciate everyone that's joining us this evening. Thank you for being here. I guess if I need to turn that light on. But again, we're glad to be here, glad to be back. The last time you saw us, we were traveling down up 95, headed to DC to the more gathering in DC for low wage workers mass assembly and march on Washington to the polls. We were headed that way and we were in the trees and we kept going in and out. But we appreciate everyone who hung out with us for a little while and who stayed the course until we finally just gave up and decided we would end a little early that evening and come back this evening. But again, we are back this evening at the helm with Kelly and Wayne.
I am Kelly.
And I'm Wayne. Was supposed to do that a long time ago. Hope everyone has had a good week. Hope everyone is okay in all of this weather that we're having. For those who may not believe or may not want to hear or may not want to hear people talk about climate change, this past 2 weeks, I think, has been the hottest weeks, the hottest days in multiple states and multiple places since they started tracking temperatures with the National Weather Service. I think it was 128 or 29 on someone's dial in California or Arizona last week.
I don't know. I don't know about Phoenix, but I know here where we are in Raleigh, we recorded 106 degrees of the hottest temperature ever recorded. So
yes, there were people.
Climate change is real.
There were people I heard that were baking loaves of bread in their mailboxes. They were frying eggs on their sidewalks. Tires were melting. Asphalt was melting in places where it was so hot. So we hope everyone has, again, continued to take care of themselves. Good evening, Jackie, Herman, and Maddie, and Dietrich. Hey, Dietrich, how are you doing?
Hi, Dietrich.
Good to hear from you. Good to see you. Glad you're with us.
Back for the end for the summer. Hope all is going well.
Yes. But we are back again. It's been a busy couple weeks since the last time we tried to come to you on our road trip from our mobile studio. But we are back in Studio A this evening, and it is a serious time.
Well, we've had a couple of friends with us on our last podcast, so just want to say that sometimes that's also good to kind of get away and just kind of reset, do things a little differently. So we enjoyed our time. We were on assignment to go to. That's much better. We were on assignment to go to Washington D.C. for the Poor People's Campaign more mass rally, march on Washington D.C. and to the polls. Poor People's Campaign and low wage workers. So we were able to do that, get some serious work out the way. We were also able to again visit the African American History Museum, the Smithsonian, which is always amazing. You could spend days in there. So we were able to do that, grab some seafood from there. So it was a good outing.
It was, like you said, to relax, to get away a little bit, but also on assignment to do some work. There were thousands and thousands and thousands. Didn't get a bus count of how many people came, but there were thousands, in the tens of thousands, people that showed up.
You sound like another person right now.
Oh, I don't know why.
No, I'm talking about with your number. There was more than Apple.
Oh, no.
Don't never give no real numbers.
Oh, no. There was, I'm just saying I didn't know how many buses, but there were tens of thousands and millions that we reached across social media. It was live streamed on Roland Martin Unfiltered. C-SPAN showed it. It was on all of the North Carolina Poor People's Campaign social media sites. If anyone did not get an opportunity to see the rally, witness the rally, you can probably go to Roland Martin Unfiltered and find it. And you definitely can go to either North Carolina Poor People's Campaign website in North Carolina, or you can go to the national site and they have the video where you can watch the live stream. But it was very moving. There were hundreds of speakers, impacted speakers who are dealing with the atrocities of our legislation and all of the laws that are continuing to be written that hurt people over and over, there to share their stories, to tell people that they are hurting and that they need to do better. So we were grateful to be able to be a part of that. And what a wonderful day it was. But that was just one day in the middle of this movement. We are back now, and we are now geared up to reach 15 million poor and low-wage infrequent voters that did not vote in the last couple of elections. And with studies have been done, and they realize if those people come out, 20%, those people can come out, we can change the landscape of this nation and change everything that has taken place. There were in about 5 states, and I think we've mentioned them before, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Nevada. There were about 5 states that the margin of victory was around 1 million votes. And more than 10 million people did not vote in those places total. So all we have to do is reach out and again, engage people, get them interested. And if we show up, we are that swing vote. We are that swing vote that can make a difference and make a change in all of this.
Yep. And I would just say, don't pay attention to the polls. Because if the polls were right, Hillary Clinton might be in her second term as president.
Yeah.
Until the votes are cast, which is incumbent upon you and me, we have to get out. We have to make sure we're organizing and registering and activating voters, and then we are sending them to vote. So in whatever circle of influence you have, use it. And tell your family, your friends. I actually had an opportunity this week with some coworkers to talk about Project 2025 and how important this election is. And the other side is so good at their messaging that we have to be the foot soldiers to say, they're not the lesser of two evils, because there's nothing evil about giving people health care. There's nothing evil about making sure people can get medicine. There's nothing evil about canceling student loan debt. There's nothing evil about that. There's something evil about wanting to dismantle public education. There's something evil about wanting to get rid of the EPA that takes care of us. There's something evil about mandating who people love and who they want to marry. That now, again, this is what I think. There's something evil about people who want to just take over the government, dismantle it, and install a king. There's something evil about that, but they never say, the other side never say they're voting for the lesser of two evils. So we just have to be mindful, be vigilant that we, when I say we, I'm talking about Black people. Black people will constantly be the target for this misinformation and disinformation, because they know we carry the vote. No one party can really win without the Democratic Party cannot win without a block of Black voters. And so you will see. Oh, see now, if this was Joe Biden, y'all might be saying,
get rid of replacement. We'll have a new co-host.
Wayne need a new host.
We need a new host because you don't stumbled and choked on your words.
But I'm okay. Yeah, now I forgot what I was saying.
Joe got the
no. Yeah, so just know that we are always the target of this misinformation and disinformation, and it may not even necessarily be from inside these borders, but the people in Russia. And it always, it has bared out that there is proof that we were targeted. And it's interesting that I was on social media and I saw somebody had posted something, and this was just not really about. It wasn't political. It said something about grown children staying at home with their parents is wild or something. And so um, that that post generated 14,000 shares.
Hmm.
And a lot of people disagreed with what the original poster posted. And then finally, that original poster came on and said, listen, I get paid for y'all engaging on this page. I don't care how long your children stay at home. I don't really believe what I posted. But because y'all are over here and have made it gone viral, and has gotten my page all these looks, I'm going to get paid for this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is now what social media has come to. People are just putting things out there because it has become monetized. So just be careful, be mindful that everything you read on the internet is not true. Do your homework, do your research, talk to some people, ask somebody.
Yes.
And again, we're in a trying time.
Yes.
Joe Biden does not need to step aside, in my opinion. And the problem is we have these experts, these people who are saying that he needs to, these 17 Democrats, I ain't never heard of them before.
Never.
But these people who are saying that he needs to step aside, but they don't agree on who should step up.
Yes.
Now, what?
Yeah, they don't agree.
We're 4 months out. And so if you can't decide, okay, if Joe steps aside and we can't decide who's going to step up, because some of y'all don't want, the names. Some of y'all don't want Pete Buttigieg. Some of y'all don't want Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Some of y'all don't want Julian Castro.
Gavin Newsom.
Some of y'all don't. So it's interesting that they can all agree that he should step aside, but there is no agreement on who should step up.
Yes.
So stop listening to that. And until they say, we think that our party is so weak that we cannot beat a coochie grabbing, 34 times indicted,
twice impeached,
liar, pants off. If they want to come out and say, we think our party is so weak, we cannot.
Convicted sexual harassment,
convicted of sexual assault,
potentially pedophile, racist.
If our party is so weak, we cannot defeat that person. That's the conversation that really should be being had on TV. It's been almost 2 weeks since that debate, and all they want to talk about is how old Joe Biden is. Like the other person is 40 years younger than him. He's not.
Yes.
He's 3 years younger than them, but they're not talking about that. They're not talking about all the lies he tells. And that press conference that Joe did last night, let's bring the other guy up and ask him those same questions for an hour.
Yes.
And let's see how that goes.
Yes, see how that goes.
We are in a perilous time, and it is incumbent upon us to get the word out. If my family reunion is coming up in September, y'all gonna see me, okay? Mm-hmm. I may have a little booth. It's gonna say
vote
political advice for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna say. Because I am so certain that and we keep saying that it's the most important election of our lifetime, and that's because it keeps being the most important election of our lifetime. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, I posted on my page this week that I'm glad that Taraji P. Henson mentioned Project 2025 on the BET Awards, because since then the Google search for Project 2025 has gone through the roof. I hope that some people the people here have also Googled that document, and everything that has anything to do with your life, there's something in Project 2025 to take that away from you.
Yes, it will impact you.
Black people, listen to me. Come close. Black people, listen to me. Come close. We are residents, we are citizens of this country because of the 14th Amendment that made us citizens. 13th Amendment abolished slavery. 14th Amendment made us citizens, and 15th Amendment gave us rights to vote. Anyway, those are amendments. Those are amendments, meaning they can be amended. Project 2025 is talking about taking away citizenship. Just because you were born here does not make you a citizen.
Yep.
That's what they said. If you are not white bread and Christian, they don't want you to be a citizen here.
And straight.
So listen to me. Listen to me, Black people. We cannot afford to sit around and listen to the rhetoric that says these are the lesser two evils. Evil wants to take your citizenship away.
Yes.
That's evil. Evil wants to get rid of the 1964 Civil Rights Act,
Mm-hmm.
which made it illegal to discriminate against Black people. It made it legal now for you to go to the movies. It made it legal now for you to drink out of a water fountain. It made it legal for you to use the bathroom.
They want to take all of that back.
It made it legal.
Say it again, Sister Sadie, for the people in the back.
Listen to me. Black people, come close. Listen to me. Listen to me. This is serious.
It is.
This is serious. It is not hyperbole. Project 2025, we're hearing about it now because it's tied to Donald Trump, but this Heritage Foundation has been around. They gave Ronald Reagan a plan. They always have a plan for the Republican president. They always have a plan for that. It just has never been this diabolical. The first they saw what Trump did his first term, how racist he was, and nobody cared that he was putting babies in cages and making Muslim bans. Nobody cared about that. And I understand some people now are upset with the country and how things are being handled in Israel, but I don't think Joe Biden is doing anything no other president would have done in an American president, because we've always been friendly with Israel. We are against genocide everywhere.
Everywhere.
But Black people, come back closer.
The Congo.
There's been wars in Africa. There's been genocide in Africa.
Somalia.
Hotel Rwanda was a movie about it. And there was not this outrage.
The media you didn't see that on the news.
There was not this outrage.
24/7.
We are against genocide everywhere. Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay? So, Black people, stay with me, Black people. We cannot afford to sit this one out, to vote for people who are struggling to even get on the ballot. Some third-party people? No.
That's another conversation we're going to have in a minute.
Yeah. No. So, again, stay with us. I'm riding with Biden. I am a one-issue voter. I tell y'all this all the time. I'm a one-issue voter. My issue is I want to live. I want to live peacefully.
To fight another day.
I want to live, and I want to live peacefully in this country that my ancestors built on their back. So no, I'm not going nowhere. I do have my passport though, just in case. Just in case there's a need. Got my passport, got my family together, just got my mama's. If we need to. We need to. But that's not the plan right now. That's not the plan right now. So for these evangelicals, and again, don't be fooled by these white Christian evangelicals who tell you that they love Jesus, they love God, and also Donald Trump is their person. He is a person who has been divorced 3 times, who has cheated on every wife with the next wife, who has paid a porn star while his wife was pregnant or just had a baby. These are not Christian principles, but they want you to climb on board with them and say, but the LGBTQ community, but abortion. Like they're going to hammer those 2 things. Like those are the only 2 things that matter. Do not be fooled. Do not be fooled.
At all.
So, I mean, I could go on about this all night. We have other things. But this election that's coming up in did you say how many days?
117 days.
117 days. So if they get rid of Joe, what are we going to do? Yes. I mean, George Clooney, who you going to give money to? Who is going to raise enough money? And all these people, it makes no sense to me. And I will just say, the people on TV, I don't even pay them any attention because nobody in my immediate circle is saying what the experts are saying.
Yes.
Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that. Black people.
And those 17.
Stay on your post.
Those 17 Democrats who claim he needs to sit down, but they can't agree. Some of those were those same Democrats that voted with 49 Republicans 2 years ago to deny 52 million people a living wage. So there are some people who do not have the best interest for everyone. So just because they have a D beside their name, do your homework.
Do your homework.
Just because it doesn't really matter what the letter is beside their name.
No.
You can go to North Carolina General Assembly's website. You can go to, if you Google House of Representatives, if you Google the Senate, if you Google voting record, you can see what senators vote for. You can spend hours and hours finding out where they stand. But they can say what they want to do on TV, and they can stand and they can look like they want to. But when you see how a person votes and how they move behind the scenes, you can tell what a person's about. And they continue again to try to say again he needs to step down. And really and truly, that's really a racist. There's a lot of racism in that coming when they say Joe needs to step down. Joe needs to step down because if Joe goes across the finish line and becomes president in 2025 and he doesn't finish the term, Kamala Harris, Kamala Harris will take the role of president. So part of this is their racism that is now coming out, and they're playing that as, oh, Joe's not well. Oh, we don't know if Joe can do this. Oh, we don't know if Joe has the capacity. Well, when Joe was running in 2020, and Vice President Kamala Harris was his running mate, you didn't have a problem with anything then. Now it becomes an issue. Now it seems to be a problem. So check those folks and their racial bias when they begin to say, we think Joe may need to step down. Okay, well, who's going to step up? And what you're going to do with current Vice President Kamala Harris, who has been in this administration and who has a stellar career in politics, who has done those things.
And not only that, Vice President Kamala Harris is the vice president tonight.
Yes.
So they act like Joe is on his last leg. So if Joe kicks a bucket tonight, guess who's going to be president tonight?
Yes, tonight.
It'll be Kamala Harris.
Yep.
And so, yeah, so that is definitely a fear. And if Joe wins and he makes it to 2026 and he decides that he can no longer do the job and Kamala Harris then steps in her rightful place, she can then run also in 2020. Well, we were in 2028,
yeah.
Right? And
2032.
And 2032. So she could possibly be president for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're not saying the quiet part out loud, but that's what they're afraid of. This country, who has never loved Black people
at all,
never, is now grappling with the idea that we could have a Black woman president for 10 years.
Yes.
It ain't about Joe. It's not about Joe. Because who's running the country right now? If Joe is so cognitive, such a cognitive decline.
Yeah.
Who's running the country? Who's doing it tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Who's at NATO?
Yep.
So stop playing in my face. Like, stop it. I know what it's about. And I just need my people to know what it's about.
And these are serious. This is serious. These are serious conversations we need to have.
Hey, Marguerite. Hey, Pam.
Hey. Bless y'all for joining us. These are serious conversations because we know that we know what the president does. We know there has to be a Senate and a House that really have a lot of control over what happens. But the cabinet that they are going to put with him, President Biden has currently good people. With that other fool number, his number now is 79 because he's 45 plus 34. He's 79. So 79, I always like to say, I know the best people. I know the good people. I want to put the best people. If we look at who President Biden has put in these places and put in offices, these are competent people. These are people who want the best for this country. These are people who are not power hungry. These are people who are doing right for this country. And they also have a moral compass that we as voters and we as people have an opportunity to touch. We have an opportunity to persuade. we have an opportunity to, and they will at least
hold them accountable.
They will at least listen. So it's not so much we're just who we're putting on that ticket on November the 5th. We need to be concerned about who they're going to bring with them. And the last time 79 got into office, is it 10 out of the 14 people in his cabinet are now either have served time and are serving time? So these are the people.
And his own vice president is not supporting him this time around.
Yeah.
His chief of the military. That these people are not support. But why are we not talking about this?
Yeah.
Why are we not talking about 20 out of the 22 people in his cabinet are not supporting this presidency? And why are we not talking about he ain't even picked a vice president? But y'all want to keep talking about Jeff. Like we don't even know who he's bringing with him to be on his ticket. But the Democrats get on my nerves, like for real. Like, let's stop it.
That's why when I say we, that's why we have to take care of our communities. That's why when we hear someone saying, I don't know if I'm going to vote. I don't know who I'm going to vote for. These are serious conversations we need to have. This is not a joke and this is not a laughing matter. The Supreme Court has already gotten rid of affirmative action. Supreme Court is attacking diversity, equity, inclusion, and 79 is going to get in and will tear down all those departments. And they also gave immunity for presidents, pretty much do whatever they want to do.
Yep.
And so they are setting this up to be very dangerous for a certain group of people. There's only going to be a small group of people that are going to, and they're not going to benefit long because they're going to find out that they're not for them either. 79 has already told people who want to drill for oil and do all kind of harms of environmental stuff to this country. Oh, give me $100 million. I'll loose all regulations. I'll remove regulations. The more money you give me, the more regulations I will lose. So then,
now imagine our food not having any regulations. We're already complaining about what our food does to us.
Yes,
we're already complaining.
Yes.
Imagine there are no regulations.
Mm-hmm.
So a little more arsenic in the cereal, so it tastes a little sweeter. No problem.
No problem. You give me enough money. So this is just not about air, just not about water. It is about food. It's about they are going to attack the Occupational Safety Health Administration, which is OSHA, which provides laws that make sure workplaces have to put things in place to protect
especially
their
workplaces
workers.
like yours.
Like mine.
My husband's life is in danger.
Yes.
Marguerite, I know you care about that.
But these are conversations that we need to be informed about and let people know this, because the rhetoric that they're going to talk about, and don't buy into joke that gas is $3-4 a gallon because President Biden has nothing to do with this gas. Nothing. It's going to be just as high
when it's high and when it's not so high.
Yes. And so equip yourself, inform yourself with policies, inform yourself with facts, and don't get caught up in the rhetoric and because people will run you down a rabbit hole real quick.
Right. Don't even engage.
Yeah.
The sister Sadie says, I am riding in the front seat with Biden. Like, listen, until the wheels roll off.
Yes. I don't know if
until the wheels roll off.
I don't know if y'all have ever seen that movie, Weekend at Bernie's. But Weekend at Bernie's was some teenagers went to their uncle's house and Uncle Bernie actually quit breathing and died. And they were scared. So they walked around and kept Bernie alive and propped him up on the couch and walked around with him and put him on a boat, rode him around town so nobody would know what was wrong with him. If we have to do a weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, we're doing it to the polls.
We're doing it to the polls. We're doing what we have to do. But again, this is serious. And we're going to, that is going to be one thing that we're going to continue to talk about from now to November, because this is serious.
Yep.
This is very serious.
Pam says y'all talked about 25 Project 2025 long before anybody. This is serious. It's serious.
It is.
And we because I don't listen or look at a lot of mainstream media. I get a lot of my news from the radio, talk radio, Urban View. Right now, Urban View is doing a $1 for 3 months. $1 for 3 months. That's enough time. Get Urban View, get Sirius XM Radio, Put it on
Please.
channel 126
All day long.
all day. And every host is going to give you information
Yes.
that is different from what the last host gave you, but it is all concerning this.
Life.
It is all concerning this. So we've been talking about it for a long time because our news source has been talking about it for a long time. Not CNN, not MSNBC,
Nope.
not none of those people who just want ratings so they can put a new Target commercial on. Not them, not ABC, not any of them.
None of them.
Not the people on the stations that are owned by Disney. None of them. All they want are clicks so that they can get more money. They are not really concerned. And guess what? Whoever is the president, the people gonna be all right.
They're gonna be fine.
They're gonna be okay. So they don't care if people are not getting this information. I do care.
Sirius XM, it's an app you can get on your phone. You can listen to it. You can listen to old shows. You can listen to shows that were yesterday, last week. Find Sirius XM, just on your computer. You say I don't ride in the car a lot. Say I don't have one of the radios to pick up satellite radio.
Mhm.
You can get it on your phone.
Get on your phone. Listen to it while you're walking around the track.
On your phone, on your computer, go to Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Roland is giving out good
Roland
information.
is one of the best black media outlets at this time. Roland Martin talks facts. He puts it out there and he is providing good information. And again, Roland is someone who cares about what is taking place. So please find this information because ever since the debate, ever since they had the debate, if you turn on the TV, there's not a night that's not going to go by that some news program is going to have something on about the debate. They're not going to say anything about all the lies that 79 told. They're not going to tell anything about the insurrection that he incited. They're not going to say anything about all of the 34 felonies, all the other 80 indictments, the sexual assault case that he got convicted of. This is not even allegations. This is a conviction. None of those things. And you remember when Howard Dean was running for president? He got on TV and literally hollered one time.
And that was it.
I mean, he
His
got on there
campaign was
and
done.
hollered, and they said, this man is unfit to be
He's
the president.
unhinged.
Called that man unhinged because he hollered. And now we have someone that can do yeah. Now we have someone who can do all this. And if the media is going to spend, they at least need to spend half the time. If they want President Biden to sit down, they need to split their show in half and say, if we're a 2-hour show, for the first hour, we're going to tell y'all, we feel like Biden needs to sit down. He needs to get somebody else. The last half, we're going to tell this other fool, 79, needs to sit down too.
If they're never mentioning him, you can't trust them.
You can't trust them. And it doesn't matter, yes, because there is somebody at the top. And again, they are about money. They're about ratings. They're about eyeballs. That's what they want. And they have a lot of narrative. They have a lot of power. There was a quote that someone said, one of the most powerful institutions in the world is the media. It can make a guilty person a guilty person innocent and an innocent person guilty. Mm-hmm. That's the power of the media. That's what they do.
And by the way, Project 2025 is going to say who can be on media, who can be on TV. So if you like Rachel Maddow, she done.
Yeah,
she's done. Jackie said, what was the radio channel? So it's Sirius, SIRIUS, Sirius XM Radio. You can go to the app, the Sirius XM app, and on there's a station called Urban View Radio. Maybe one can put this in the chat. Are you on there? Urban View Radio, channel 126. So Sirius XM Radio right now is $1 for 3 months. $1 a month for 3 months. It is going to be well worth it. Ask your sister Valerie about it. Ask Valerie about it.
Yes, please.
But that is these. I was watching our local news yesterday. And they were talking about the mayor's race in Raleigh. And there's one person, I know he's running for mayor. And they had all these people on there that are running for mayor. They didn't mention him. I'm like, this is not all. I know at least one more person is running for mayor. So who else did y'all miss? So the news just like I can't trust it, so I don't watch it.
And
until that day Wayne got arrested, and they was on there. They got that right.
we got that right. We appreciate Dewan Hogard, who came down and took time out to give not just us, but to give all of those justice fighters and those who stood out and those who were willing to lift their voice, not just us. There was 3 press conferences that day, one from Forward Justice, one from the NAACP, Poor People's Campaign, and we didn't have a press conference and everybody stand to the side, and then when one group left, somebody else came in. We all stood together. And this is what they want to do. They want to pit all of us against each other. They want to say the transgender people is because that's why you can't find a job. The immigrants are coming in, and that's why gas is so high. The gay people, that's why milk is so high. The Muslims are here, that's why you can't find no eggs. You can't do that. They want all of the otherisms of the world. That's what they're going to do. And they realize that when everyone comes together, when Dr. King finished his march from Selma to Montgomery, when he stood on the steps of the Alabama State House, he said the most dangerous thing to the powerful oligarchs, or when poor whites and poor blacks and poor brown people, people who are marginalized, overlooked, undervalued, when they come together and create a voting bloc, when they come together. And if you look down through history, Wilmington, when the Wilmington massacre was because, again, Fusion Coalition, white folks, black folks, immigrants came together. Fred Hampton, they won't tell the story of Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton had the very first Rainbow Coalition. When he reached out to white organizations, when he reached out to when he reached out to other organizations, they said, if we come together, because we're feeding children, you're having after school homework, you're doing great things. And if we come together, look what we can do. Well, when they saw that happening, the police got involved, put up fake letters, sent out fake flyers, created fake news, misinformation to pit these groups against one another, to make them fight one another. Because they knew if they came together, what was going to happen. So we need to continue to make sure that we do not buy into the rhetoric. Don't buy into the rhetoric. And before I forget, Sirius XM, channel 126. Now,
you put it in the chat.
I did, but I wanted to let everybody know you're gonna get some more out of 120 out of Sirius XM, because from 6 in the morning to like 6 at night, you're gonna get this information and you're gonna get all of that. But Marguerite, after 6 o'clock, you can find channel 74, and that's Smokey Robinson station. And they're gonna play all the old school jams. And if you like a little hip hop, you can find over there on LL Cool J Rock the Bells radio. That's on me. Channel 43. You can go over there and you can rock with him a little bit.
That's my station.
And if you want to kind of catch the R&B, you can find channel 50. What's the name of that now?
Is it The Groove?
The Groove. You can find The Groove. So there's a lot of good music on there too now. And we save too now. One day we go to church too. We save. We like to do it all. So Kurt Franklin got a channel too, channel 64. We ain't gonna leave the church folks out now.
Know it's a balance.
You gotta have a balance. You gotta pray a little bit. You gotta go over and listen. You got to sing. You gotta get some faith and hope up. But Fannie Lou said you can pray until you faint. But if you're not willing to get out and do some work, God ain't saying gonna put it in your lap. You got to do something. So after you listen to Kurt and you get boosted up and you get excited, you need to go to Urban View and listen. And you can relax with Smokey at night. You can do all Sirius XM.
I like 47 too. 46 is when my grandchildren are in the car, they listen to 46. 47, that's 47 is when I found out the radio version of some songs is not the real song. I'm like, what? I didn't know they said all of that. But yeah. So Sister Sadie says the media loves whatever is most sensational for their ratings, and that is the truth.
To say you're exactly right.
That is the truth. So again, we cannot trust what they're putting in front of our eyeballs, because they have you have to know by this point that it is intentional, that nobody is talking about DJT. because every day, and he knows it. He has been kind of out, like he normally was doing something every day. But since that debate, and they ain't even talking about nothing but Joe, he know he don't have nothing. He ain't got to do nothing.
Yep.
He don't have to do nothing because nobody, not one person, has tried to hold his feet to the fire about all those lies. He lied for a solid 90 minutes.
Yes.
And nobody's saying nothing about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he told lies like babies are being born and then they are killing babies.
We haven't.
That is not legal. That is murder.
Yeah.
If a baby is breathing and sitting in their crib, you can't just go kill a baby. Yeah. But they didn't even bother to check him on that. So
yeah, he says we're having a 10, 11-month abortions. That's what the Democrats want. They approve an 11-month abortions. That's what they do. We literally, while we were in DC preparing to go to the march, we were leaving out of the room. There was it was one of the, I don't even know what station. We were out there flipping through the TV, and there was someone interviewing. They were interviewing. What's the dude? They went to jail for 4 months. It slipped his mind.
Oh, Bannon.
Now you're gonna get rid of me.
Steve Bannon, exactly.
Steve Bannon, yeah, because I forgot something. They were interviewing Steve Bannon. So first of all, why are you interviewing Steve Bannon? Well, Steve Bannon ended up saying that he talks to 79 probably several times a week. There's not a week that goes by that he does not talk to him. Steve Bannon, white supremacist, Christian nationalism, racist, anything that you can think of, he is that. And so he said that's where he gets a lot of his talking points. So you can see the people, Stephen Miller, look these people up. They are the people that are driving the messaging.
And they are people who will be in his cabinet in the White House. The same people. The ones who didn't go to jail. The same people.
Yeah. I mean.
And speaking of the media, this is another thing. Like, so I don't know if you all remember Byron Donalds, but Byron Donalds is a congressperson from Florida. You may remember that he was in the news maybe a month or so ago, because he said Black people was better off during Jim Crow. During Jim Crow, the Black family stayed together. Now, it has come to light that Byron Donalds had a Black wife about 20 years ago. So you are so concerned about keeping the Black family together, and I don't know why you would. And again, why did he say Jim Crow? Right? Because you know how they want us. They want you to think if we say Jim Crow won't that bad. If we say it enough, people might believe it. But Byron Donalds had a Black wife, and he ended up getting his current wife, who was a white lady, pregnant before their divorce was final. So then he married his white wife, who during Jim Crow, he would not have been able to do that.
That's right.
Let me know if y'all have heard this story anywhere other than here.
Yeah.
Is anybody else talking about Byron Donalds' Black wife? And she talked about how when they met and they were in college at FAMU, I think. He said he was from Jamaica. He had a fake accent.
No, they was in New York. At that time.
I thought he was at FAMU. Like, I know they were at HBCU.
He ended up transferring to FAMU.
Okay. So anyway, they were in college together. Mm-hmm. They got married after so she knows that we already know that his moral compass, he doesn't have one. But again, would they put him on TV to say all this foolish stuff, but then they don't give us this kind of story? Because we might not have ever known that Byron Donalds had a Black wife. And he talking about keeping the Black family together and how the Black family was so much better off during Jim Crow. I mean, not that he can't have a white wife. Clearly, I don't care about that. But don't talk crazy.
Please. Don't.
And then have the media not cover it. So again, let's just find alternative. If you watch your local news, that's fine. I like a Joy Reid. I like Rachel Maddow. But every now and then I just need, because they do the same thing. They're putting the same people on TV. And I just need to hear something different. So, hey, Tracy.
And we need to see people, and we need to hear people that will, challenge every now and then. What I was going to say about the interview a while ago, that, even during the debate, when they had the debate, if you're going to allow someone to stand up and say Nancy Pelosi was offered the whole Army, the Navy, the Marines, and the Air Force, fighter jets, and They could have had 1 million soldiers there, but she chose not to. Anybody, I mean, that's just ridiculous. And for the moderator not to even check that and let someone say that blatant lie in a debate, someone's running for president.
And do we even remember when he was saying Nikki Haley, that Nikki Haley didn't accept his offer for the military to come, and he meant Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
But he kept saying Nikki Haley, Nikki Haley, Nikki Haley. But last night when Joe Biden called Zelensky Putin, we're gonna see that all day today.
Oh yes, all they're
When
gonna
he
talk
said
about.
Vice President Trump instead of Vice President Hank, we're gonna see that all day today. But we don't see nothing about the other person who he has these gaffes all the time.
Every
His
time he opens
mind
his
is
mouth.
really bad. He's
Yes.
really unhinged.
Yes, he is unhinged. So again, be informed, you know, and this is something that we're going to push this information, and we're going to make sure that in any circle that we're in on here, may even try to set up some spaces where we can have some information settings, because people need to know. We had our nephew on here a couple months ago, and at that moment he was like, I don't know, I keep hearing all this stuff I need to figure out. And what we have to do is understand and not belittle them and not throw them away and not say, and you're dumb, you don't. We need to inform them. That's what has to happen. We need to, because when we inform them, we empower them. And if we inform them, you know what they're going to do? They're going to inform someone else. So that's the goal, is for us to continue to be informed, learn, and be able to, have a conversation. And when someone is in a circle providing misinformation or disinformation, that we have the ability and the confidence to say, wrong, that's a Jim Crow lie, wrong, nope, this is the facts. And what we have found out when you are willing to challenge someone who only has the Fox News talking points and the rhetoric talking points, once you hit them with a fact or a question, they shut down because they don't know nothing else. All they know is to say stupid stuff, because they say they're just like a parrot. They repeat what they heard. Probably want to crack. All they do is they parrot what they hear. When we were voting last time, when Miss Aaron Paré, who was running for House Seat 37, husband showed up and was setting up everything and telling people they needed to vote for her. Kelli said, well, tell us why we need to vote for her. And he said, well, just read all her accolades. No, I don't want to read it. You tell me. She lowered taxes. And the next question, she said, well, tell me how she lowered taxes. You know what he did? Left. Because
especially when somebody said my taxes went up.
Yeah. So
if you're going to engage us in the line, we're in line to vote, sir.
Yeah.
We're in this line to vote. Mm-hmm. If you're going to come out here, you better come with some facts.
Mm-hmm. But that's what they love to say. We're going to lower taxes. We're going to lower food prices. We're going to lower gas. How? What policies are going to do that? And make them be specific. And when they don't have none, and you don't really have to know, you don't have to really be involved much to know that all the stuff, there's several stuff that President Biden did. He's lowered the price of insulin. He has had this infrastructure bill. He's given student debt loan, erased student debt loan. Oh, and guess what? So this something I heard the other day. If the right person or the wrong person, we're gonna say, gets in office and they decide, you know what, them folks are not gonna get their student debt relieved, give back to them.
They're gonna give it right back.
They're gonna give it right back. They have
Project 2025 says that.
Project 2025 says if
y'all gonna get this debt right
you're
back.
Gonna get it right back.
Now I have some friends, some personal friends who have been blessed by that that debt cancellation. They don't want that debt back. I'm talking about $100,000 or more. They don't want that back.
Yeah, but Project 2025 says
you're gonna get it.
You can get it back, because they are trying to dismantle the government.
Yep.
And put people in place who just want to follow whatever they say. So after you Google, so there's some homework. What time is it? We about, oh, we got 9 minutes.
It's time to start winding down.
I know.
But go ahead.
So SiriusXM, get a subscription. 126 during the day, 74 at night, 47 at night. Smokey Robinson at night.
Robinson is 74.
74, yeah, 74. 74.
So Deke says the media is becoming likened to what DJT says is fake news. So, kinda. They're not giving us all the news. They're giving us a piece of the news.
Yes.
But so DJT's motive was to discredit the media by saying that everything is fake news. So now you don't believe anything the media says. That's not really a bad policy. Hear what they say and go do your homework. And Deke also says we seem to forget the foolishness that he was spewing when we were facing the pandemic. This man said,
drink Clorox.
Drink Clorox and shine a light.
He said, no, he didn't say, he said, put light inside of you. He said, if we could figure out a way to inject light inside of us. So
we forget that this current president, who's so bad, like brought us out of that pandemic, that the other guy, now President Barack Obama had all this stuff in place for a pandemic. He got rid of it all. And we found ourselves in the middle of a pandemic. But we don't talk about that. We don't talk about, we lost 1 million United States citizens. We lost people, real people.
Yes.
So even though you had his cronies out here saying that this is not real people died. I know some people who died from COVID.
We had friends. And you had
but
friends.
We're not talking about that.
Yep. Yeah. Dismantled the whole, not the CDC, but the infectious disease.
Yeah, but the CDC is going under Project 2025. You remember last month when Dr. Fauci was testifying before Congress, and that crazy lady Marjorie said, "I'm not even gonna call you no doctor. I just take that man's credentials away." Mm-hmm. Like this is the foolishness.
That's what they want to do.
So anyway, again, my family reunion. I'm coming with this information. I'm available to travel if you want me to come to your family reunion. Let me know.
Yes. we for real.
Let me know.
We putting this on the road, and we are seriously thinking about again having some sessions. I don't want to call them town halls, but some sessions to gather people to make sure people are informed. So again, SiriusXM, get a subscription. It's $1 for 3 months. It'll be the best dollar you spent in these 3, and I will give you $1.
Right.
I'll give you $1. I'll give you $1 for these 3 months. I'll cash up you $1. You text me and say you need it, I'll let you get it. And then when you have to pay for, then you won't mind getting the subscription. Google Project 2025. When you finish Googling that, Google Constitutional Convention, because that's what they want to have.
And for all these people saying Joe Biden ain't done nothing for Black people, Google what has Joe Biden done for Black people.
Yes.
And it won't bring you up just a random somebody's blog. It's going to take you to the White House page.
Yes.
And spell out what Joe Biden has done for Black people, because people love to say he ain't done that for Black people. My first question is, what did you want him to do?
That's right.
What did you want him to do? Mm-hmm. What did you ask this administration for? Tell me that. Okay, so we appreciate y'all joining us on this Friday night.
I got one.
The Friday Night Lights.
I got one more
thing. I'm going to get ready to disembark.
Before you do, I got it.
Okay. I don't know what he's looking for. But we appreciate you joining us. Last night we were in Vacation Bible School. We have so many facets of our lives. So yes. Last night was a ministry night, so we had to postpone. So we appreciate your understanding and cooperation and joining us on Friday. If you have not liked At the Helm with Kelli and Wayne, please do that. And then tell your friends to like At the Helm with Kelli and Wayne. We want to get in on this algorithm.
Yes.
And sooner or later, we'll start showing up in this algorithm with this information, this good information.
Yes.
And people who say, we're not really into politics. I'm not really into politics. Can I have a whole conversation on foreign policy with you about what's happening in Israel? No. But I can tell you that I want to live in this country. I can tell you that. And I can tell you who is making that almost nearly impossible, who wants to continue to do that should they hold office in 2025.
And, and we can also point you to someone who does have knowledge of foreign policy. Because the people, again, when we Sirius XM through the day, they bring people on here who know, and this is what they do. So they're not just talking to be talking and to hear themselves heard. They are talking. They are bringing good information. I want to make an announcement. August the 3rd, on a Saturday, August 3rd, I will be back to. We'll be back for August 3rd. Yes, we'll get the time out there. We'll put it on Facebook. Put it on our page. August 3rd, Mount Level Church in Durham will be showing the documentary Bad Faith, which is Christian nationalism's unholy war on democracy. So again, these are these evangelicals. Those are the ones that are out here that think, for you to love God, you got to vote Republican, you got to hate gay people, you got to be a card carrying member of the NRA. You think it's more prevalent, more important to have a gun than voting rights, and you're just going to attack all of these things. So when the evangelicals give you Proverbs 6, 16 through 19, Proverbs 6, 16 through 19, when someone tries to, they want to talk about God hates the gay people and hates transgender, hate and all this homophobic, Islamophobia, transgender phobia, all this otherism. Solomon, who wrote Proverbs, who the evangelicals will probably say until you start talking about, they're going to probably say Solomon didn't have no sense then, but they will say Solomon was one of the wisest ones in the Bible. Well, Solomon wrote that there are 6 or 7 kinds of people and things that the Lord does not like. And another version said there are 6 things that the Lord does hate, and 7 are an abomination. So when they want to talk about people being an abomination, tell them to go to Proverbs, and you can read it to them, read it with them. Find it on the phone and tell them, read it with you. And it says, this is what God says an abomination. Those who are too proud or tell lies and murder. Those who make evil plans and are quick to do wrong. Those who tell lies in court or stir up trouble in their family. That's the contemporary English version. King James said, a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. A heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief. A false witness that speaketh lies. Here we go, these lies again. So they got someone who lies more. I heard old folks say, he'd rather crawl up the tree and tell a lie than sit down on the ground and eat some good food. The last one is a false witness to speak lies and soweth discord among the brethren.
And who that sound like?
Who that sound like? Who that sound
and
like?
We ain't gonna go too deep in it tonight, but it also speaks about abortion in the Bible and not in the way that they tell you.
Yes.
There is scriptures on somebody telling somebody exactly how to have one.
Yes.
We'll talk about it.
And again, we need to understand, and time, but
exactly that's why I told you.
Yes. So so this whole abortion fight, and so next time we're going to talk about the Dixiecrats. We're going to talk about the Republicans and Democrats through the 60s. We're going to tell how all of this, because they love to tell that lie too. They love to tell that lie. What, the Republican freed the slave, slave. So we're going to get all of that, and we're going to talk about that. Brown versus Board of Education, and how abortion became to be the political football that it is. We're going to share that on our next podcast, because they didn't care nothing about abortion until they couldn't be racist no more. And they had to come up with something else to help divide this country. Divide this country. So we're going to disembark.
We are. So this week in Vacation Bible School, we talked about visions and dreams and how God came to some people in the Bible. And so my disembarkation is hold on to your dreams. Understand that not everybody's going to understand your dreams. People may not be supportive of your dream, but that doesn't make your dreams any less. Continue to ponder that dream in your heart. Wayne just said, Fannie Lou Hamer said, you can pray until you faint. So it ain't enough to just want it. Make a plan, go out and get it. Surround yourself with people who will support you, and don't worry about the naysayers.
Yes. And along those same lines, through Vacation Bible School this week, we talked about Joseph, we talked about Jacob, and we talked about Solomon, and how God ended up through our lessons this week telling them that if you trust me, if you follow my commandments, if you hear me and let me guide your steps, I will bless you, your family, and you will bless others. But in each one of those lessons, before God said that, Jacob, Joseph, and Solomon would have fallen short of society standards. Let me say that. They would have fallen short of society standards, and someone would have said they're not worthy of God's blessings. So no matter where we find ourselves on this journey, and this is a lot that's going on, I feel like, in this time, that if they can belittle someone, give someone to look down on someone, make someone feel like they're less than, that's when we begin to lose who we are. So as Kelli said, follow your dreams, see God, and see God as God sees you. See God and see God as God sees you, as created in his image, as valuable, as worthy, somebody that Jesus thought was worth going to Calvary for. And not let nobody minimize you and who you are on this journey. So with that, we are going to disembark. We appreciate you for joining us for
Sister
another
Carol,
voyage.
Sister Joe, Sister Charlotte, y'all logged on just in time for the
Oh
for
yeah.
the sign off.
But go back and watch.
Replay it.
Replay it, share it. And again, we are going to try to continue to share this information and continue to inform and equip people. So again, thank you for joining us at the helm with Kelli and Wayne, and we're out till another voyage. Bye.